Y'all see that? Y'all probably can't see it like how I could see it. Of course, y'all ain't gonna see it like I see it. But y'all see that? Y'all can't really see it like I see it because it's raining. But that's a new car. That's a brand new car. That's 2024 before 2024 even got here. Y'all, I'm sitting on the couch. I know I said I wasn't gonna vlog looking crazy no more, but it's a Sunday afternoon. Or is it morning? It's afternoon. And I have done very little this morning because this morning we were supposed to be on the mountain hiking. And because it's raining, we canceled. So I've done one load of laundry. I've washed the dishes, fed the dogs, done all of that, and got right back on the couch to do a little of nothing. And I just looked out the window and I saw that. And I was like, you know what? It's not about the material thing. The material thing means nothing. It's all about the fact that I needed something. I desired something. I spoke that I shall have something. And I believe God. And I asked him to, direct me and to bring it into fruition. And I also said I'm not in a rush because I said that I was going to get a new car for Mother's Day last year and then my birthday last year. And it just didn't feel like the right time. So I was cool with that. But when the time came, it was a process. It was a process for me. And it may not be a process for you. When you want a new car, you just go get a new car. But for me, I'm not the type of person that always wants to keep switching up on cars. I will literally drive a car until the wheels fall off and then put more on and then keep driving. So for me, cars are not something that I just pick up here and there because I don't want to deal with it. I don't like car payments, so I just want to set it and forget it. Get something, pay it off if you don't pay cash for it and call it done. It's a form of getting me from A to B, and that's it and that's all. But in that being said, the only thing that I want to hear is the music from my radio. I do not like car issues. I do not like, car troubles. I don't care for those things. It's hot here in Arizona during the summer and ain't nobody got time to be stuck anywhere. So for me, it wasn't imperative that I run out and purchase a new vehicle just because I felt like I wanted one. So I waited. I knew that I wanted one, but I also knew that it had to be at the right time. And so for me, I have to be led. I have to be led. When I feel like it's God telling me it's time, then I know it's time. And I'm also a person that needs to feel like he's directing me. Like, okay, go here, do that, talk to this person, ask this person. I literally will hear him speak to me in my inner ear and guide me. And that's when I feel 100% comfortable in what I'm doing. And I just go for it. And it always works out. It always works out when I operate that way. And so when I looked out the window, just looking out the window, like normal people do, you sitting by a window, sometimes you might want to look out the window. And I see the car and it just comes back to me like, this is for real a God thing. It's not a material thing. It's a God thing. Because I spoke it, I believed it, and I waited on God. I waited for the right time to move. And when he said now, I moved and everything fell right into place. And the other day I was just thinking, and I was like, you literally got what you asked God for. Okay, y'all, I'm back. I was interrupted slightly. But I was saying that I literally got what I asked for. And I was just thinking, and I was like, oh my gosh, like, you asked for a specific brand. You asked that you be able to pick and choose, it be of your choosing. And that's exactly what it was. Because when we went there, mind you, this is my first brand new vehicle. I think I said that before. I've always had like a year old, maybe 2 years old. The oldest vehicle that I ever had was, of course, when I got my very first vehicle. How old was I? I think I was in my early 20s, and it was a 1988 Hyundai Excel. It was a red 4-door Hyundai Excel. And even in that, I said I wanted something small, boxy, 4-door and red. And that's exactly what I got. So I guess I've been speaking it into existence my entire life. And even back then, it was waiting. I guess I've always waited for the perfect timing. It has to make sense to me. It has to be God's timing, or it just does not feel right, or it does not make sense to me. But I do remember asking that I choose what I wanted. And in this vehicle, he never once offered me a used vehicle. That's been the very first time that the conversation never came up. It never came up. That has been the very first time that's ever happened. Because in past times, we'll look at this and then they'll say, well, these are a little lesser in price, if that's what, whatever the conversation is. I've always went for a more upgraded vehicle, but it's always been like a lesser year, just to get the price down generally. But and I've always been fine with that. I'm telling you, it's always been what I wanted. And even I remember a time where they thought they were offering me less than what was on the lot, because I went for a particular vehicle, and the vehicles that I ended up looking at was nothing of what I really wanted. And he thought he was offering me lesser, because he's like, well, let's look at the older vehicles. And it was a year old, and what he brought around was exactly what I had been praying for. So I was thinking he's offering me less than, but he doesn't even know. He was set up. He offered me exactly what I wanted, down to the color, down to the wheels. So I was like, he don't even know. But to God be the glory. But on this one, there was 3 different choices that I wanted within the price range that I wanted to stay in. And so the first one I didn't care for, and we went to this one, the one that we chose, and we never made it to the third one. And I was like, I told my husband, why didn't you tell me, let's at least look at the third one, because it was a little SUV, and I've always wanted an SUV. But it wasn't time for the SUV, because that wasn't the SUV that I was supposed to have. I know the SUV that I'm supposed to have, and that wasn't it. So we stopped at the car, and the color was perfect. And so I just looked out the window, y'all. Sometimes you gotta pivot. Just pivot. Just turn a different direction. look in a different direction, move in a slight different direction, and you'll see things in a whole new light. I literally just looked out the window and all that came to me. Like, it's not about the physical material thing. It's about the God that's behind it. The God that makes provisions for it. The God that gives you the word to go, and so you go. You know, the God that gives you the word to do, and so you do. You know, just being in tune. Being in tune and knowing when you hear that small inner voice that tells you go or do or be, and then so you do or you go or you be, and it all works out for your good. So I say all that to say, y'all be inspired. Be, do, go, say, whatever it is, whatever that thing is, go get it. It's a new year. Do you. Go get it. But for me, be led. Be led by the Spirit. All right, I'll talk to y'all in a little bit because we got a whole day and there was no hiking, but we got to get it in some kind of way. So I'll talk to y'all later. Peace.